Alright, let's get right into it. So one of the things that I see players do, and it pisses me off when they do it, is when they will land a down one and go to a different poke. Instead of going in for a grab, or using that advantage to step back and force a whiff punish, or whatever the case may be, they'll go to a different poke. You see, and then you'll see something like that. Like, what the fuck is the point of that? You're just missing out on something huge. Every time you throw a poke, if it lands, do something about it. If it doesn't, block. Like, don't be one of those that just pokes and then will jump. If you do that shit to me, maybe it'll work online, maybe. But if you do that shit to me offline, I will fucking anti-air your life away. Doing something like this and then jumping, even if you hit me and you jump, I will anti-air you with my fucking eyes closed. So don't do a poke and go into a different poke, or don't like jump or what. Like, you're not gonna want to do it. You're missing out on something huge. So you could easily, if you're gonna hit somebody with a poke, step back and force a whiff, boom, get your shit going, boom, get a grab going, or boom, stagger gel your highs, because these are, every character's, their highs are like their best staggers. They're just very difficult to react to. So you can do this, boom, grab, this, boom, boom, grab, this, boom, overhead, boom, step back, and then, so you know, you get the point. You know, if you're gonna land a down one, gel it, or get your grab game, or enforce a whiff, that type of stuff. So there's that. The next thing that I see a lot of players do, and this is something that, I'm shitting you not, the last 2 weeks I've been working really hard on not doing, and today I played a lot of games and I've actually succeeded with this, and that's not always poking back. When your opponent does a string, right, or what is the case, they'll poke at you, right? One thing that I would do is that I will make my opponent poke me, right, and then grab them. It's really good. Online, it can be rough sometimes, like you saw right there, whatever, right? Offline, I could do this shit with my eyes closed, but there's that, right? Boom, just like that. But another thing you could do is use that hit advantage, step back, and find a good button that has good range. Like for Shang, this button will be perfect, or I'll do a backdash and go into that. But for Shang, it's this right here. Stepping back from the poke, and then getting them. Now, another thing you definitely need to take advantage of is when your opponent pokes you, going to your mid instead of going into your pokes. This is something that, again, I'm working on, trying my best. So it'll look something like this, right? We're going to make Fujin just poke me, right? This is all we're going to make him do, just poke me, right? And go into your fastest button. For Shang, he has a 10 frame low starter, just like that, boom. So instead of just poking back and then having the guessing game, it could easily just be something like that, boom, lift, whatever, boom, whatever, get my damage going. You get what I'm saying. Again, online, sometimes this could be a little risky to do. You know, sometimes you try to go into your mid, somehow their poke beats you. It can be very frustrating. But I guarantee you, offline, this shit will work all the time. And it's very easy to do offline. It just depends on the connection. So when your opponent pokes you, instead of always poking back, go into your fastest button. Just boom, enforce that shit, stagger it, or complete it, or do whatever it is that you want to do. That's a really, really good option right there. If he tries doing anything, even if he tries backdashing, he's going to get hit. So really, really do this. Instead of always poking back, just go into your mid. Just go into it. Have the confidence and go for it. And it's much easier to do now because a lot of pokes now are like -6. Some minus, I don't think there's some down threes are -7, but there is pushback. For the most part, they're much easier to do. So if you have a fast mid, use it. That's what it's for. So there's that. Or if you have slow buttons, right? Let's say, I don't know, fucking Scarlet or a Devora, whatever, right? You use that hit advantage to step back and enforce whips, and boom, get them just like that. Like, one thing you can do is Fuji will be mashing, poke back, boom, boom, crushing blow right there with Shang. So you could do something like that. So that's definitely a habit that people need to start getting. Going to your mids and not always poking back or stepping back and forcing a whiff and getting your opponent. There's that. Now, the next one that you need to, this one's huge. This one's really huge. And that is jumping like a fucking idiot. I see this shit happen all the time. We're gonna make Fujin block, right? Just block some shit, right? I see players always do stuff like this and then they'll jump. They'll throw projectiles, they don't want to give their turn, and then they'll jump. That is to me the easy, like super fucking easy to end here. That is the most predictable time to end. Then they'll jump. And you can just anti the shit out of them. I highly recommend knowing when to jump. Like whether you knock your opponent down, do a little shimmy, and then going in, jump. Don't jump randomly to get in. I am guilty of doing this as well. Sometimes I'm far away. I get impatient, especially against Scarlet players. And then boom, I'm landing on blood balls and I'm fucked, right? So there's stuff like that. Know when to jump. That's my biggest advice. In between staggers, I would not recommend jumping. Or even, let's say if I land my down 4, I would not recommend jumping. It's very predictable, and you're giving away your hit advantage, something that's guaranteed, and there's a slight chance your opponent could actually anti-air you. Again, you do this shit offline, you're gonna get caught. Online, it could fucking happen. It is what it is. But for the most part, know when to jump. So what is a good time to jump? One of them could be on wake up. That could definitely be the case. You knock your opponent down, do a little shimmy, and then you go on them. Again, it is a risk that you could do. Another one is when you just jump over your opponent's projectiles. That's another one. Or when you predict your opponent's going to step to you and boom or whatever. Or shit, if your opponent doesn't anti-air you and the worst thing you think you're going to eat is an uppercut and you have the health lead, fuck it, why not? But that's just me. But for the most part, know when to jump. Don't jump randomly for the sake of jumping. Don't be that guy that you end your turn and you're trying to jump out. Like, nah, dude, no, don't be that guy. So there's that. And then the last one is a very simple one, but I see this shit happen all the time. All the time. And that's when your opponent does something super unsafe and you punch them with a grab. That is a huge fucking no-no. People gotta get rid of this habit. The easiest way to punish your opponent, and even pro players do this, is always punish with their highs. This is just the fastest and easiest way to punish. Like sometimes, let's say I have let's say Shane, right? He has a 10 frame punish, and then Fujin does something that's like minus what, 12? There's been times, check this out, this isn't like no bullshit, and this happens to a lot of people. There's time when Sub-Zero, right, does his slide, like minus 20 something. I'm Aaron Black, I go into my back 2-2, it's 11 frames, right, and some fucking how, I get uppercutted. It happens. It fucking happens. The best way to avoid that is to just go into your highs. They're the fastest thing that comes out and just the easiest to do. And a lot of them can lead to really, really nice damage. Like something simple, boom, whatever, right? 24. I know I can get higher than that, but you guys get the point. So there's that. Really work on your punish game, because it's like, literally, that punish could easily win you the game. Instead, you do 13, and it's like, man, what the fuck's the point of that? So just, don't miss out on big R. Another one is like, if you land a jump kick, like, motherfucker, do something about it. Like, don't just, let's see, Shang. Let me see, what does he, it's been a while since I used Shang. Whatever, right? If you land a jump kick, seriously, do something about it. Don't just do that and then get your grab game going. If you land something, boom, get your damage going. I don't know, do something like that. You're just missing out on huge damage that could easily have ended the match earlier. So I would definitely, if you do these habits, like I said, some of these I'm like trying to get rid of. I've been seriously working on backdashing and escaping my opponent's pressure and just being more patient. I feel like it's starting to pay off. The games I had today, I really feel like they started paying off. Now I'm not even thinking about it anymore, you know. And some of these habits are going to take a long time. Like, it took me a really long time to start doing anti-airs. It's just something that you just have to put time into. So there's that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Holla, holla back. Check you bastards later. Deuces.